Jerks. Um. So on your left, we have Cyndaquil. We have quite a few Pokemon in this race. So we have Cyndaquil on the left with a 111, sits at I think somewhere in the 20s on the rankings, something like that. And on the right, we have XheraGD or Xhera. Not really sure how it's pronounced. When I checked the leaderboards, he had a 130. Now he has a 121.
Okay.
So
don't.
who knows what this man is capable of, or girl.
I just saw him get. He just raced today, and he PB'd by a minute, and that PB was a 121. So he's definitely coming off a really awesome win, like one of the most exciting races I've ever seen. That race came down to 2-second difference at the end. There was 07 to 9-second difference. So he's definitely got to be run off the adrenaline of that. So I'll be excited to see what he's going to pull out here.
This man's a wild card.
Definitely already showing that.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think he started like a couple seconds ahead of Cinda, so it's like not quite.
Both their timers are looking about 1 second off. Yeah.
Yeah.
No difference here. We'll be all right. Now, not too much really variation in Cap Kingdom. The only variation you may see is right after this door right here. Some players tend to go left, some tend to go right. Looks like Cinda's gonna have to go right.
And oh, I thought he was gonna bonk there. Xhera's going. I'm assuming Terra, like the Greek god. I don't know. Xhera's going left. Or Xhera.
Misses his jump there.
Also, I saw a YouTube video of this because, of course, every game needs apparently a no jump challenge or no A button challenge.
Of course, yeah.
And it's technically impossible right now to get out of Cap Kingdom without jumping, except for because of the frog section. But the person made the case that because the frog section, or because frogs leap, they don't jump, that it doesn't count. And I was just curious your thoughts.
You know what?
On such a trivial matter.
They should have just done a no A input run, and you could
but then you could just press B, Kappa.
Oh, you know what I mean.
No, that's what like people keep saying. It's like, oh, no A button, I'll just press B.
I'm a B button player myself.
For those who don't know, A and B are in this game are interchangeable. They do the exact same thing. X and Y do the exact same thing. Both R and L do the same thing, and ZR and ZL. Although I think the two bumper buttons only recenter the camera. That's their only function.
Correct, yep. So, all those motion control inputs that you have to do in this game, they could have just made one of those buttons. But hey.
Yeah, I would love to have just mashed alternating the bumpers. That would have been so much easier.
Yeah, so, in case you don't know, every time you see a runner doing an extended roll, that is just them holding ZL or ZR and just shaking their controller. That's about all they're doing.
In order to go fast in this game, you need to shake your controller.
An unfortunate.
Yep. In fact, that thing he just did with the chain chomp shook his controller.
Next, Xhera having some trouble with probably the first.
Getting it the second time though.
Yeah, yep. So an easy cleanup there. Good job. Honestly, setting it up the second time is harder than the first attempt in most cases because there's not really much of a backup. You just walk your dinosaur at the trampoline and hope it jumps. Yeah.
It is possible to do it with both feet, but it's definitely preferred to do it with the left.
Yeah, oh yeah. So very clean cascade from Cinda so far. As XheraGD here is finishing up this mad and brutal fight here. Looks like you got you can get walled a little bit in that fight. That's what I always called it. Where if you don't have enough distance between, or if you don't have enough space to get enough distance for that chain chomp, you have to kind of reset and find a new spot. It can waste a lot of time.
Yeah, especially considering all of the Link to the Past stuff that's been going on in speed gaming as well. I think it's a thing in Link to the Past, blue balling, right? And like one of the last boss fights. Or no, I don't know that much about Link to the Past.
You know what? I don't know enough either.
Oh, Sarah? Okay. Thank you for letting us know that, actually. That's you're...
Yeah, I'm always paranoid about pronunciation.
Yeah, you're doing us a pretty big favor there.
So, Cinda gonna finish up his cascade. Ooh,
and Sarah eventually. There we go.
Definitely
also, I think Sarah has Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Sarah, I think has the exact same backgrounds. I initially thought I was watching I Am Tendo.
Oh, with the split back on?
Yeah. What were you going to say? That was probably vastly more important.
I was just saying he's getting a little trolled there by the terrain right before the Odyssey. Sometimes you can get caught or even bonk into that. Sometimes you bonk on that. You're like, I didn't even know that was there. So, heading off to Sand Kingdom. If you've watched any Mario recently, you've heard us talk about the route changes and vastly different route we see players take. So we'll try to point those out whenever we see them. So
yeah,
even the tiny stuff such as whether or not you jump off of the umbrella to get up there like we saw Cinda do, or if you take a different route. Like even today I saw somebody go for a triple jump to get up to that moon that I've never seen before. So.
Yeah, the way I think of Sand is kind of 3 chunks. You have the town chunk, which has some variations. Then you have everything from Dune up until basically the lone east pillar that you take the bullet bill to, which is basically the same. Everybody does that the same. The strats, for the most part, are almost identical. At least the routes are. And then you have everything after that, which can involve Sphinx Clip, no Sphinx Clip, notes, normal Sphinx, stuff like that. That's a whole nother set of variations.
Yeah, there's even like you said, even in that mini section there, the town section where we saw Sarah tend to use the lightning pillar there to get the movement they needed.
Yeah, not sure if there is a time difference, but it definitely looks safer.
Yeah, I have no clue. There's a lot of stuff around. Ooh.
Taking a bonk.
Caught on a little cactus there.
Yeah, because you can't really see where your camera is. Nice. Cyndaquil going for a strat that I surprisingly haven't seen that much is instead of having to jump all the way back, you can kind of turn the corner with a hat bounce and then get a wall jump and get up on the icicle immediately. But unfortunately, he didn't get the bullet bill manipulation.
It saves you from having to do one more dive.
Yeah.
Fluid motion. Saves time, so why not?
It's a small strat. It's a very small strat.
Yeah. That bullet bill manipulation there can be kind of trolly. We can save that bullet bill the intention is to get the very first one that spawns, but doesn't always work out.
Sarah just barely bonking, and the yellow Goombas took their advantage. Or, excuse me, they saw their opening and they took it.
And they saw wounded prey.
Yeah. That's exactly right.
Yeah. Very trolly, tiny Goombas there. Ooh, unfortunate bonk. Oh, and I thought it was going to land on the pillar there, and it wouldn't have been too much of a difference.
Yeah. But yeah, I started to see some people jump off of the icicle and just aim straight at the wall. You can either do a half bounce there, maybe you can backflip without doing a bounce and still make it, but it's probably very tight. I'm not sure. But thankfully, got the the second cycle to manipulate, so that the bullet bill's literally right there waiting for him, essentially.
Yeah, yeah, it was it spawned in. Oh, and just walking right onto that ledge. I'm
Yeah,
saying
that was
that was pretty swag.
in the very first, like one of the very first sand routes, the accepted ones that people really started doing. We did get that pillar, but people, before we thought to jump dive off of it, we just said, hey, just ram the bullet bill into a certain part of the pillar. You'll walk onto it every time.
Right on, right.
And people didn't really like that. So when it was finally implemented back into the route, we decided, you know what, let's just jump dive onto it. Let's exit early, jump dive. But it is definitely swag to walk off.
And Cinda taking an unfortunate death there.
He hit just barely the wrong part of the wall there, of like the little art on the wall. Can't wall jump off of it.
Yeah, there's a little face and a little rim there.
Yeah.
So that's going to definitely give Sarah some time back here, making this a look closer race than it was. So now he's getting that checkpoint, saying no, not again. If I die, I'm not going back from there. So I do not blame him. There, getting high enough, so he didn't even have to worry about it. There you go. And so both of these players going for Sphinx, so we're probably going to see no coin routing from them. They're not going to have to worry about it. Just gonna. Ooh,
but yeah,
thankfully, very quick roll cancel from Sarah there to save from bonking on that sign. Good reaction.
And just barely hit the box. And yeah, normally, if you don't grab Sphinx, then you obviously have to get the Jaxi treasure chest to get those 50 coins. But normally, a death to Jaxi treasure. Oh, Sarah. But normally, a death to Jaxi treasure loses you 10 coins and normally makes. It's normally more of a run killer because you not only lose time, but then you make it very, very difficult to be able to get 100 coins before wooded. You have to grab a bunch of extra in lake otherwise.
Yeah, definitely. Not a fun time taking death there.
Yeah. And we saw there's two different ways of doing this. You can also, it is a tiny bit faster technically to exit the bullet bill a little bit early and jump, but it's a little bit airier, understandably. So,
okay, nice.
Yeah,
he didn't.
Yeah, he didn't bounce off the hat initially, so he just got Cappy back. So thankfully, he was still allowed a cap bounce.
He's gonna go ahead and get his last two moves here and head on his way. Both players there showing how difficult some of those jumps in Sand can be. Sand not the biggest overrun killers, but a lot of technical tricks all in a row. So now we're heading off to Lake Kingdom. Very short kingdom. What is it, 8 moons? Or something like that?
Yeah, and the other 5 moons are all super close to each other, route-wise.
Yeah. And 3 of them we get from actually a boss in this kingdom. We don't fight a boss in every kingdom, but this one's just fast, so we do it. And it's a pretty trivial fight, but a few mistimed jumps and you could lose a lot of time on them. So we'll see how each one handles it. The very first time we see a Cheep in the run, they're probably one of the easier captures to use in the game. You just mash buttons, go in a direction.
Yep. Yeah, one thing that has been recently debunked, technically, if you're just going either straight or you're just like holding Y or B, boosting does not make you move faster. All boosting does is allow you to rapidly change your momentum quicker. So like if you're swimming straight and you want to start swimming down, definitely press Y then B. Or if you're standing still and you want to start going forward quickly, press Y and B, you know, or whatever. But you don't need to keep mashing it while you swim. It doesn't make a difference. You can if you want to. It doesn't slow you down, but you don't have to.
And we see Cinda fighting this last boss here in Lake.
Yep.
And right
Rango.
before that, we saw him go for, you saw him jump out of the Cheep Cheep. Those little Goombas trolled him a little bit. That jump can be kind of frustrating sometimes. We'll see how Sarah handles it. His name is Rango, right? I believe you were
Yep.
saying.
I finally learned all their names. It's Topper, Rango, Spewer, and Harriet. At least I think the purple one's Spewer.
I do believe that is correct. Here's that jump I was talking about. Looks like he's gonna get it just fine.
Yep.
So now we're heading off to Wooded. I like Wooded.
Ooh.
Yeah, I have not seen this. Did not see this in his last run.
Oh,
Looks like he just missed it.
that is a very, very risky. I think a little bit of a risky way. Might be a little bit faster. I'm not sure. Very risky way of getting up to Rango because if your spacing isn't right, but it does look like the height is perfect. So.
Yeah, looks like it's a forgiving hitbox there too, as long as you don't miss too far to the left. And we're gonna see how this bunny treats Cinda. Not too bad, decent bunny. I always think a good bunny is if it doesn't even go halfway around, but
Yeah, because like normally ideally the setup would be boost like 4 or 5 times, have enough speed, and then as soon as you can run, you do a long jump and then immediately do a hat throw to stop him on the other side, and then you could bounce right into him. The problem is that terrain has a rock in it, it's sloped, so it's not ideal to roll across. So it makes that setup like just so much harder than it needs to be.
And your camera starts at a weird spot the very first time you get into this kingdom, so it's like zooming back over you. You're shaking your controller, trying to do a precise long jump and catch a bunny. So
right, missing that dive input there.
Getting some good speed off this triple jump. So.
Yeah, one thing that we see is one of those optimizations that, because initially for this game, it wasn't really known. Like, there weren't a lot of small optimizations that really separated the best runners' movements from the worst. There was more execution, but now we're starting to see, like, the small optimizations are stuff like roll cancels, optimal throws, optimal jump dives, and another thing is if you jump while re-receiving Cappy, you get this special, like, high jump, and if you do that, you can actually keep, if not all, but you do definitely get to keep most of the momentum that you have if you have an extra amount. And so, like, it's different than just jumping normally and then doing a dive, whereas if you do that kind of a jump, you keep that momentum. And that's just something that, like, not a lot of people know, I think.
Yeah, all these tiny things about it's I always kind of compare it to keeping your P speed in Mario 3.
Yep.
You know, just being at the right place, right time, and the right inputs in order to keep going fast and do all the stuff you need to do in 3 dimensions.
Yeah.
But all of those things, a lot of the things in this game are not too different. You know what I mean? Like a ground pound jump gets you this relatively the same height that you need from a triple jump, right? Depending on what you're doing.
Right.
So when height's the concern, there's so many options that you can do. So
yeah,
it's always nice to see what people go for, what the safer options are, what the risky but maybe faster.
There are so few places that I can think of, especially in this run, where you actually, like, the strat only works with a triple jump. There are very, very few places. The only one I can think of off the top of my head is what's called, I guess, button skip, or some people call it switch skip because it's a key, but it's technically a button in this game. But the one that you'll see, maybe we'll see Cyndaquil go for after he grabs that Piranha Moon. But other than that, I don't really know of any others off the top of my head.
That new one found in Cap Kingdom. So.
Yes, if you jump off of the first house.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't make that.
That one's insanely difficult. But so we'll see.
I
Let's talk about Wooded. I think we kind of skimmed over Wooded.
Yeah, what is a lot of fun movement-wise?
I think one. I don't think either player took the checkpoint.
No, they did the same route.
No.
They went to flooded pipeway first.
No, I don't think we've seen.
Oh, nope, nope.
We haven't seen yet. As I say, we haven't seen which route he's going to take yet. So here's a route difference we see pretty often in what it is. One player opting to go get the checkpoint and then go to the pipeway. He's going to warp out at the end of this pipeway and get back to that checkpoint. So
Skips having to do that movement on the vertically moving platforms, which could be really annoying and really tricky. And we're not really sure. I don't know if we're 100% sure. No, oh, missed the dive input. What even happened there?
Oh, it looks like that's what it was. So, and unfortunate. Probably one of the more common mistakes we see in this game is when a ground pound, because in this game you have to push L or R in order to start a ground pound and then dive out of it. So sometimes you can drop that input just from time to time. Something we see pretty commonly, I would say.
Yeah, dive. It's weird. The dives in this game always take 2 inputs instead of just 1. Mm-hmm. That's definitely different. But at least you can do it, not unlike SM64, you can do it with any amount of speed.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really unfortunate. And what we saw Sarah almost get a damageless pipe. Unfortunately, tried to ground pound to lose some of that to try to sink a little bit. But if in that particular section, I'm not sure if this works in general water, but I know in that particular section, if you're on the surface and the water's rising, it'll take you up. But if you just stop swimming in general, and even sometimes if you hold down on the control stick, but if you stop swimming in general, you'll start to sink. So you don't have to like ground pound or anything like that into the other spinies.
But that room is very hard to do damageless and fast. So.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, to get that, to not have to wait for that last water cycle requires a very tight jump, and it's not very forgiving. You really can't make any other mistakes in that room if you want to make that cycle.
It has to be flawless from the beginning. So.
Yeah.
So both players opting out of P-switchless or Scar Jump or whatever you want to call it.
Scar Jump?
So both of yeah.
Why that was
that was one of the guys' names who like first brought it up.
Scar. Oh, like Circle or SYRK, whatever his name is.
I'd have to go back and look.
I always thought it was like that was the Gyral or something.
Yeah, I don't know. That was the first I'd ever heard it referred to myself. That's what stuck with me.
It's a cool name.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's a big like strat finder. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm sure. I'm 100% positive we're gonna do the Odyssey community is gonna do more tournaments in the future. I don't know if the next one would be World Peace or if it would be another any %, but you definitely expect more tournaments in the future. This has been like really just great for everyone involved. Even if you don't race well, it's still good exposure for the runners, and a lot of runners have like PB'd, and it's been great practice for people. Yeah. And we've got some really exciting races.
Yeah, like just for instance, the race Sarah had earlier today was they won by 2 seconds, so it was a nail biter. Yeah. Like it was crazy to see 2 runners be breaking the last pillar and the escape sequence at the same time. So, but we're coming up on Cloud Kingdom here. So, Cinda just.
Oh, okay. That's about the last second that you can bring Bowser back. If you get enough contact in midair, he'll be like, all right, like I see that you're hitting me, and he'll come back down. But if you get like even 1 or 2 punches as he jumps away, he won't come back.
Yeah, so good catch there by Cinda. So really, most important thing in this fight is to get the hat as quickly as you can. So we have to hit the white hat, capture it, and then go punch him up. So, but the most important thing is that you don't grab the hat too late or too early, because you will miss a cycle. Like we didn't get to see it there. Fortunately, Cinda having a really good
darn.
Yeah, fortunately, Cinda having a really good Bowser fight there. But Bowser will jump away and you gotta chase him down, waste a bunch of time. So we'll see how Sarah handles it. A lot of new strats actually lately in Cloud Kingdom where you
Yeah.
getting the very first hat before he even has time to throw it, taking damage to get the hat earlier, all sorts of stuff. So.
Yeah, the first phase skip, I'm surprised I haven't seen as many people do it. To me, that's like the easiest one to do.
Yeah, you just
The
gotta get up in
fastest
his
for the
face.
second and third, though, require, I think, like a backflip grab or something like that. You like grab the hat sideways. It's really weird looking, but you can grab it literally instantly, so you don't have to hit it away and then roll to it. Like, that's the fastest way. But that's like, I don't see a lot of people do it because I am with a lot of people and that I don't understand how it works. No idea how to do it. So a lot of people just don't do it because it's not like a massive time save.
Yeah.
Plus, you do have a very, very small chance of soft locking your game.
Yeah, it's not fun.
I've only seen it happen once so far. But I know there'll definitely be like world record runs lost to it. World record pace runs lost to it.
Oh, I'm sure. And Cinda coming through lost here really clean so far. That tree that we saw him jump off at the very beginning where he lined up a triple jump and then jumped up to a really high platform over a bunch of purple stuff. We do that in order to skip a cutscene involving that bird that we just scared off. Loses an unbelievable amount of time if you don't do the level this way. And ooh, getting an unfortunate break block there. I wanted to break the block he's about to break right now, and we can do it on the very first beetle, but it's slightly precise. You got to know where the beetle is, so you know where to stand to get him to fly in the right direction. So, losing a little bit of time there, but nothing too big.
Especially because the safer way to do it is to take damage, so you could like stand next to the box and then have the beetle just hit Mario, and the explosion radius will hit the box. It's pretty safe, but then you have to wait there for a couple seconds while Mario's down on the ground, and then you have to wait for the game to tell you that you got health back. Also, missing another Y input. I don't know what. His console is not cooperating. And we see Sarah going for the OG lost route. This is the other way to do it. It's about 8 seconds slower, this route. So yeah, and it looks like he's also going to go, because we initially started going up there, then we went to gardening, and then we went to the butterfly. The butterfly.
Slightly older route, but definitely a safe one. I don't blame him for doing it in a race.
Yeah, this was the first route we started with, and then we discovered the meme tree.
Oh, everybody's favorite meme tree. But yeah. Sarah, grabbing that butterfly just fine. We'll see how he handles that beetle. So it's always interesting. I see a lot of new ways, like where people have found spots that work consistently for them. So yeah, and almost dropping a Y input there. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that was close.
So, like I said, a very common mistake that I think a lot of people kind of definitely do often is you do that dive and you just wait too long and then you've lost too much height and then.
So we see Sarah. Doesn't like a lot of people don't like the jump from the second propeller up straight up to the tree, so they go to Klepto first, which is another minor variation. He just barely missed the triple jump there. Cyndaquil did. So that's another death he's gonna have to take.
So Sarah getting the break block that we wanted. Like I said, we can break that on the first.
Yeah.
Beetle cycle there. So.
And he got damageless. There you go. That's how that's supposed to look.
So definitely gonna be a closer race, so I'm excited to see that. So we'll see how Cinda handles Dark Match right here.
What is that trick called officially? Is it like just awning jump, or is it something different?
You know what? I don't think we. And oh no, I think Sarah
also
took
missed
a death in the same. Gotta be
nope.
careful with that.
Oh. You don't have to. You got to be careful because you don't have to go to that area in order to grab the. In order to grab that moon, you could still grab the moon without triggering Klepto just fine. Just literally go around. But Sarah, unfortunately, I don't know if that was a mistake or he didn't know or whatnot. But that's now he's got to go. He can't leave without getting Cappy back. which you got to play this stupid little like game with Klepto or whatever. It's run over if this ever happens to you. But as long as you know the spots, you know, it's pretty hard to have this happen.
Definitely recovering pretty quickly. Good.
Yeah.
That's definitely not some movement you practice to get back to him.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, and no, Cinda missing the dive back to.
Oh, that's a big one.
One of the most unfortunate things that can happen in Dark Metro.
Yeah. That jump is not too hard because even though the camera's not really cooperating with you there, all you have to do really is just hold the same direction. Whatever direction you throw your hat, make sure you don't move the control stick, and Mario will dive, you know, right at the hat. So that jump is pretty consistent, but unfortunately, if you miss it, you gotta make the climb again, which is a very, very big mistake.
Looks like he's gonna take a safe way back up here.
Yeah.
Do not blame him. Missing that twice would be very, very punishing.
Yeah.
Sarah coming up on Dark Metro themselves, so we'll see how they handle it.
Gonna grab that checkpoint so Cyndaquil can warp to it later. I don't remember what the old route was, but pretty quickly the route changed to where we warp right after a specific moon. And unfortunately, he gets the tank overheat. I'm not exactly sure the mechanics behind why the tank overheats sometimes.
You know what? I do believe it is down to the number of shots that are currently in the air. That's why
That's interesting.
At least for me personally, that's what it feels like.
No, like, because I was going to say something like the amount of shots that you fire per, like, a unit of time, but in the end, that kind of equates to the same. Yeah. That's just a different way of thinking about it that may actually be their, like, Nintendo's reasoning.
Because if you're very close to him, you can shoot a lot faster. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I wonder why that is.
Like in the phase that we see
cycle.
Cinda right here. Yeah, a very good 2-cycle. I think it's
shoot
beneficial to drive towards
why?
Because I do believe that there's less shots in the air, right? There's less air time on those shots. So
oh, but like I mean like literally shoot the cannon, like be able to
shoot. No, not shoot faster, but shoot without overheating. I guess just to say, yeah.
Oh! I see what you're saying. So because the shots don't stay in the air as long. So that is different. That's interesting.
Don't quote me on that, but
I will.
That's you're testing yourselves and get back to me. That's what I've tested. So
yeah, I'm gonna ask if that's the case.
Ooh, and having a
as
I was about to say a pretty clean climb here.
Unfortunately, because it's very weird, this game. If you come out of a normally you don't drop out of, like when you climb stuff like that, you don't normally just drop out of it. So when you do, it's one of like the only instances in this game where you really can't do anything. You can't wall jump, you can't dive, you can't do any of that stuff. So it's like you're kind of just falling endlessly and you're frustratingly trying to mash.
Eventually the game will give you a hat throw, and then after that you can gain control. But...
I'm not sure actually. Yeah, well, because it's kind of like, have you ever had it happen where you're trying to dive back towards the pole, but then you do it too quickly so that Mario dives, but he dives facing away from the pole?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, in that state, in diving state, you can't recover at all. You just wait until you hit the ground.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, yeah, that's true, because he doesn't even grab the pole at that point.
Yeah.
Although I thought you can face the other way, and as long as you're near the pole, maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah,
anywho.
Just one of those weird things like where you bonk on a high cliff and there's no ledge below you.
Yeah.
Eventually, Mario, you will regain
in that case,
control
yes. Eventually, the game will give you back.
Poles can control you in the same way sometimes.
It makes up for the fact that Mario can bonk on something without even technically touching it. Even if you run by something like and you're clearly like a couple inches away. You didn't touch it at all. You'll still bonk for some reason. But the damage that bonking does do is definitely less severe. Also getting, Sarah getting a very good 2-cycle as well.
Yeah.
That is a rarity to see 2 people get a 2-cycle in a race.
Very quick aim reaction from Sarah there. So.
Yeah.
We're going to see Cinda climb all the way up to this tower. And then he's going to jump off. Not quite swim in the pool. We're going to try to not swim in the pool. That's the goal.
Yeah, keep it up. Because every time you grab a moon, it refreshes your hat throw completely. So you can just theoretically keep chaining hat jumps as long as there are moons there. And just keep staying in the air forever.
Yeah, it's an awesome mechanic. The one downside to that is it makes it kind of hard to practice some levels because you just want to practice. You got to reset, make the moons respawn, load a previous load. So individual levels of grinding can be a little
tedious.
Tedious in this game, but we have plenty of loads, so we'll be all right.
Also, one of the few instances of what I presume to be what I call RNG in this game is if you're rolling along the right wall, every now and then if the NPCs just aren't positioned or just positioned just the wrong way, they'll push Mario to the right that he'll bonk on the edge of the doorway there. Sometimes he does bonk, sometimes he doesn't. Yeah, not really sure how to avoid it.
So we're going to see having a little trouble with RC car here. Driving that car with this camera angle can be pretty frustrating sometimes. So
haven't seen anybody yet go for the RC car skip.
We saw one today earlier.
Did they get it?
Yeah, somebody got an RC first try. So
nice.
So we're gonna see.
We're gonna see OTEP.
Oh yeah, we gotta go to Base Fest, guys.
Yeah, buddy. There have been some new route suggestions that would cut out the park, but I don't even care if it's faster. It cuts out OTEP, so it can't be better. There you have it. That has become probably the most popular meme within the Mario Odyssey community and its viewers. Not 100% sure why.
Oh, I do believe it was I Ate Your Pie. But...
Well, I know he has an OTEP emote, but like, I always thought the yay was gonna become like the.
Well, there's that new thing, right? Are you Team OTEP or Team Yay?
Team OTEP or Team. I mean, OTEP is definitely more unique, and OTEP was like the original. I'm always Team OTEP.
Gotcha. So we're gonna see Sarah finish up Metro here, and it looks like Cinda's gonna be heading off to Snow. Both of the players, if you skip Sphinx, usually you see a change in route right here, where one player will go to Snow and the other player will go to Seaside.
Speaking of skipping, Sarah's stream, unfortunately having some frame issues. Dove away from a grabbable spot. There we go. No, I spoke too soon. Okay. Wait, now he's in Bowser. How did that happen? Okay, there we go. Looks like things are back in order.
And Cyndaquil is talking to Toad through some snow. So we just come out here. We find freezing Toad, take his moon, and then leave.
More to the left. More to the left. There you go. I would also like to point out, I'm pretty sure Toad is in short sleeves here. And is behind a wall of snow. So he has some questions to answer.
Quite a few. Oh, and nasty bonk from Cinda there. Oh no, and it looked like he missed the moon. So he's gotta go back through this crowd of people and jump off these awnings again. Looked like he dove just a little bit over.
Yeah. Oh, of course Mashy did it. Of course it was Mashy. The only decent HDMI capture cards I've been able to find are over 100 at least, which is kind of unfortunate for someone like me who doesn't have $100 shell out on a capture card.
Yeah, capture cards can get quite expensive. But we're gonna see Cyndaquil here going into the Blowy Joey room.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Also, don't.
How can you forget about that?
I know.
So we're gonna. There's a lot of different movement options here. He's gonna go for the 6 points to ground pound to climb up here. And he's gonna run over there, capture that Blowy Joey, and push a bunch of Spinies off a cliff.
Yeah. That wall is such an awkward height because you unless even with a triple jump, sometimes you still have to do a jump dive onto it. But, you just barely don't really have enough height to. Okay. I forgot. Sarah's stream doesn't have audio.
You didn't want to speak over the OTIP.
Yeah, almost.
That's just good manners.
Yeah, dude. It's like second nature now.
Mouse Cop, respect the OTIP. Thank you.
It's like becoming second nature. If I see OTIP, I just shut up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a moment of silence for OTIP.
Yeah. But even if you triple jump, you just barely sometimes can't get enough height to do a wall jump hat throw to a ledge grab, so you kind of have to jump dive, but you have to jump dive such a small distance, so it's very easy to jump dive. You have to jump dive but then hold back the whole time, which is really awkward.
Dealing with the extra momentum from getting pushed by that Blowy Joey, so there's a lot of factors that go into that tiny movement, and to optimize it isn't the easiest thing. And
yeah.
Now we see Cinda handling the Goomba room pretty easily. It can definitely troll you. Goomba positioning, you run around on ice. So,
the Goombers.
And then good recovery from there. He noticed that he dropped a long jump input, so he's gonna go back.
I'm gonna refresh because I think you're a second or so ahead of me.
Oh, my bad.
No, it's all good. It's not. How could you have known?
I'm seeing the future again.
Also, I just noticed. Never mind. Actually, never mind.
So, I would see Sarah starting his snow. Ooh, some unfortunate bumps there.
It does make the roll cancel triple jump. It makes it easier to get the roll cancel with the momentum, but it does make the timing a lot more tricky. But it is a really nice, really cool strat.
Yeah, definitely. Nice to see done well. So we're gonna see the room that Cinda is in right now. There's a boss fight there, but that's slow, so we don't do that. We just grab that moon and get on. We're gonna go to a beach vacation. We're done. Yeah,
especially Harriet. Ugh. No, thank you.
Yeah, nobody wants to deal with that. Wait, isn't that one Rango? Icy Rango, which is just even more terrible. I'm pretty sure that's.
Oh, it might be Rango with 2 hat. Is it? I don't remember.
I don't know. Either way, it
might be Rango.
I don't like it.
Sarah trying to rob the shop. It's a bold strategy, Cotton.
You gotta be careful with that.
Yeah. Could get a wanted level.
Small facts.
Oh, it is Rango. Okay. Yeah, no, I remember it was the ice floor, because I only remember the post game moon with the mound thing, the moving mound, but I don't remember the boss fight that was there. But yeah, it probably is Rango.
So we're gonna see Seaside here. A lot of it. We're gonna see this very first jump here that we're about to see Cinda do is a very kind of specific timing, but he gets it just fine first shot. We see that kind of those. What's the word for it? We see that series of inputs. That's kind of the way we can get max height in this game, where you do some manner of backflip, ground pound, triple jump into a well-timed hat dive, and that'll give you max height. Then we just jump off the wall and then get up there.
I've also seen that I think some people were saying that if Mario lands on the center of the hat, he'll actually gain a little bit more height.
Correct, and you can actually tell that you got a relatively good jump
Bounce.
off of your hat by you'll see a spark come off of Mario's shoe. That's how you know you got a good hat bounce.
Yeah, it's very similar to like in SM64 where the game like clearly has different animations or different sprites or whatever that don't appear depending on if you got like a first frame wall kick and stuff like that. So Nintendo definitely has a history of that. Also, I have to go to the bathroom really quickly, so I'll be right back.
We're gonna see Cinda here capture one of these squid guys and ride on over to get some more Cheep Cheeps. Another level where we use Cheep Cheeps a lot, and I think it's always surprising to see how much time you can lose with the Cheep Cheep. Like bonks with it, taking damage with it. Like you can lose a lot of time underwater and you don't even notice it until you're teleporting back for the last moon. So definitely can be interesting. Hopefully Sarah has a good Goomba room here. Doing a little optimization there. You can you have to wait for that ice pillar to come down, so you can grab one Goomba, trigger their ice pillar, and then grab the other while you're waiting. Just a small why not kind of time save or optimization. So, but sadly that also runs the risk of the ice pillar falling on the Goomba, and then it just gets nasty. Gonna make that long jump over that moon just fine. First try. Hashtag single commentator, we'll be alright. So we're gonna see finishing up Snow pretty clean there. So we just get a few moons as the Cheep Cheep. And then teleport on back. Both Sand and Seaside are levels that we teleport back to the Odyssey to. And Snow. So, sadly, Sarah's got a lot of gain to, or a lot of time to gain here. So let's see if they can pull it off. But the run is, or the race is anywhere from over. Bowser's Kingdom, as most people know, is you can lose a lot of time in Bowser's. But here's another instance of that. You need a well-timed hat jump. So right there, you can see that the spark on Mario's shoe as Cyndaquil did that jump there. You get the height that you need, and we can save a lot of time by doing the jump that way and getting that moon in that fashion. You can opt out of that movement there and go for after you beat the. Or after you turn into meat in this level, which is the final boss of Luncheon for us will be a piece of meat. So that will be a interesting thing. But there's some cheese will spawn there, and it'll let you get up there just easily. And oh no, Cinda
he threw his hat for just probably swag reasons, but he hit his hat. Yeah. Yep. There you go. Don't need to throw. Also, nice. Grab that heart. Save those 2 seconds on the game. I'm telling you.
Good thinking.
Yeah, because it's only triple moons that you won't get that from, but from any single moon, including well, this one, you will get that text box. You will get that, not that text box. You will get that stupid animation thing. Also, Sarah experiencing one of the more common issues in this room is depth perception.
Yeah, it's kind of a pseudo 2D 2.5 in there, the camera kind of locks you to a really far out view, so it's hard to tell if you need to go backwards or forwards or left or right or up or down.
Yeah, that's just one of those things you get a feel for, and then you know, like, okay, I need Mario standing like along this position of the platform when I jump, and then as long as I hold hard right, I'll hit the moon, stuff like that.
I actually like to just close my eyes when I go into that room and try to use the force to find it, but it does not work, so. Because it's better than the camera in that room.
Also, screw metachlorians. Stupid.
No spoilers, everybody.
Yeah, sorry, spoilers. The first movie talks about introducing metachlorians.
But we're gonna see one of the nice homing attacks you can do with Cappy right there that we saw Cinda do is you just stand still, throw your hat, and then shake your controller, and Cappy will go right down and break that box. And let's go for, see if we can get a Kobe here, and a nice Kobe.
What's interesting, normally even the star crates, most crates, including star crates, normally take 2 hits. Sometimes if you like have momentum, a normal crate will take 1, but almost like we saw in Sand, for instance, when, wow, you got that move from very far away, Sarah did.
Yeah.
When a box normally takes 2 hits. For some reason, some boxes spawn in like already naturally damaged, and when I know you think naturally damaged, you think like, oh, that sounds like me, but no, I mean like it's already cracked. It only takes 1 hit. And I don't know why that is.
Yeah, just for some reason they put Half-Life boxes.
Half-Life boxes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cappy is the crowbar.
We're gonna see Sarah finishing up Seaside, nice and easy. Just Seaside's nothing really too technical in it, other than that very first jump can be kind of tight, and then other than that, it's just having good movement, not bonking with the fish. And we're gonna see Cynical breaking the cheese blocks. That moon can kind of troll you sometimes. The Pan Bro just throws his pans at random.
Yep, can't aim.
Yeah, but one of the ways we see people making it a little bit more consistent is just get real close, so that way there's less time for randomness.
And even like some people try to still do that and then shake the controller because he throws faster, but if you do that, he also throws farther, and he'll just throw over the cheese. Yeah. So you kind of just have to keep mashing Y if you stand there.
So Cinda getting that first cycle Podoboo right there. That
very tight.
So one interesting thing with this game is that Podoboo will spawn as soon as that cutscene starts. So the timing that you skip that cutscene is important. So we're gonna see Sarah opting into a triple jump there and getting that second try. It's very nice.
Much safer.
Very happy with that.
Wait, so you want to skip that cutscene
as fast as possible.
As fast as possible. Oh.
Yeah.
Taking a page out of Sunshine's playbook. As soon as the level loads, like cycles start, so you want to skip those cutscenes.
Could be a camera thing, but from what I've tested it's anytime I get a bad cutscene, skip there.
Yeah, no, it's most likely, you're right, a cutscene, because the camera stays the same no matter what. Somebody get on that.
This is why we have scientists. So we're gonna. So it looked like maybe some unfortunate damage from Sarah there as well. I saw them go for a heart. So. And then we are meat. Oh, pausing a little bit early in anticipation for a cutscene there.
He's twitching a little too much as the meat. Coming out probably with a high 54 luncheon, which for him is probably not a very good time. But it is a race, so this kind of thing happens. You never know what kind of a run you're gonna get. Or no, it's gonna be a mid 54.
Hey, you know what? The one thing about a race is your time doesn't matter as long as it's better than the other guys. So and this is far from over. We're gonna see Cinda come up on Ruin here, which is probably. It was cool at first, you know, once you learn kind of the strats for it, but it's kind of one of the most uninteresting bosses, I think, because there's really no way to speed it up. You can only hit the
is it
boss.
underwhelming.
Yeah, it only lets you hit the boss when it's ready, that kind of stuff. So it's a semi-auto scroller.
And it's a major boss that you have to fight. Every single other boss fight, whether it be the normal version or the rematch version anywhere else, always has a speed up mechanic, which I love. I love that that's a feature, except for the dragon. Dragon has no speed up mechanics whatsoever.
Yeah, it's quite unfortunate. And we saw Sarah go for some swag strats there, getting a kick on every single one of those cans. So, props for their can kicks. Get himself a Kobe there. So really, as we see on
the shake throw.
Yep. Yeah, one more thing you can do with motion controls in this game. You can throw that turnip farther if you shake your controller.
Almost everything you do that isn't running around, even running around, obviously you could shake the boost, but everything else that you do, whether it be holding something, capturing something, doing everything, shaking will allow you to do something else with it, and normally something that's faster, or an upgraded version of what you can already do. Which is really unfortunate for speedrunners, because it hurts after a while, but...
Ooh, and Sarah almost showing us that if that wire in the fireball, if you touch any dry part, including the tops of those tiny pieces of wood, you will lose that fireball and probably take a death there. But...
yeah, that's a really frustrating way to lose a run. I've seen it now like once or twice. Just like the tiniest little space you can theoretically land on and just lose it. I mean, thankfully, if you land on it, you can like long jump back, or if you grab the salt pile checkpoint and you die, you won't lose that much progress, but it is really annoying.
Yeah, if you react quick enough, you can definitely save it, but...
yeah.
Getting a pretty good cheese... oh, and the spiny bro just saying, hey, you're not getting out of here with those 2 seconds, sir. I'm taking those 2 seconds.
I love the freeze frame with Mario being knocked back. Yeah. Like, yo!
Yeah, that was
pretty...
that?
Dirty.
Kodak moment.
Yeah.
Good ruin fight there from Cinda. As you saw, really all you can do is just jump on, be ready for it as soon as it lets you throw Cappy on its little pins that you gotta pull out of its face, and then you're good to go.
Yeah, I remember a lot of runners early on, especially I saw Fuzziness mess around a lot with just desperately trying to find a way to speed up that fight, and all they found is that you can actually technically clip inside the dragon's head, but you can't do anything from there. So that's literally all we learned, is that you can glitch inside the dragon's head and lose time. It's very symbolic. And also both of them opting for the fireball room instead of forks, which I'm not even sure at this point what the actual time difference is. But forks is definitely harder to optimize. So a lot of people just stick with this.
Oh yeah, definitely. Both players opting into the damage boost strats there. So Bowser's Kingdom. A lot of new strats here recently. That bird that we saw Cinda just jump out of, you can do a cool trick with where you leave your hat next to that bird, jump down, grab a moon, and do a homing attack, and it brings you right back up to the top. And Sarah scaring us by missing a jump, falling into the lava there, but getting a quick save, one more hit there, and that would have been death. So pretty clean lunch in there from Sarah. Just that little minor accident at the end there, but no worries. And we're gonna see Cinda coming up on the Moonshard portion of Boundless Kingdom, where we've seen a few route changes recently as well. Some people opt to... Ooh. The bird that he needed getting sniped perfectly by that bomb.
Yeah. Sometimes they just opt to not lend themselves to you at all.
Yeah, but so you can skip having to take control of that bird and grab that piece that he did, but either way you do it, and it looks like he's going to opt into the glory hole right here.
Just barely getting glory hole there. The bomb. What's it called? One of the other annoying mechanics, which thankfully is not really that big of a deal, is just letting go from a ledge grab. Like, I think you're supposed to technically just hold the opposite direction from where you're going, but sometimes that could be like wherever Mario is facing or where the camera's facing. It's hard to tell. And like there, we saw Cinda just kind of get stuck on the ledge for a few seconds. And that's because it's just so unnecessarily difficult to just let go. You used to just also be able to just press B and let go, but you can't do that. You can pull up obviously and then go down, but
alright, now we're gonna be coming up on the
main courtyard, the gauntlet.
Yeah, the mini boss gauntlet into crazy legs boss. So we're gonna see. It doesn't really matter which one of these you do first. Most people opt into Topper because I think most people think that's the difficult one, so they want. So
yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see if he gets in, then we'll talk about it.
Nice. Gets the fast face skip there. That one's not too hard. It's this one that could be tricky because there's just so many hats, and you got the snipe. You either want to stand. You either have to get it immediately, or you have to stand kind of far away and wait. Just barely getting that last face skip. Because the hat at one point before they all release, it's kind of in the mix of like 3 other hats, and you want to be sure that you don't hit the wrong one. So if you don't get it immediately, then you have to like wait a second. But you got it immediately.
Yeah. So there's a
not too risky.
There's a window that you have. So you jump too early. The hats aren't even hittable yet. You jump too late, and the hat turns out from underneath you. So, very tight window.
And opting to do the safe strat of letting the bomb hit the ground before angling yourself. Because sometimes, even if it looks like you threw it the right way, like the angle you threw Cappy or something, can make the bomb just kind of pop up in the air like that. Although that time it clearly hit on the left, but a lot of like the fastest way to do that, you can hit it as soon as she releases it, but that could be kind of risky. Depending on which way she's facing will be wherever the bomb is, and then you don't really have a lot of time to adjust. So a lot of people just wait till the bomb hits the ground. But it's not a huge deal. That's a sick emo combo. Who's this?
That's Poos.
Oh, is it? Noise.
GPB.
Although 4 emotes for that, especially because like the second and the fourth emote, it's not like you can't really do anything else with those unless they're part of that whole chain.
Hey.
And the third.
Worth it.
Hashtag worth it.
So, finishing up. Oh, and that bomb just slowly watch it hit you. But pretty clean ruin from Sarah on our right. So, excellent run so far from both these guys. Mecha Brutal, you know what, is probably one of the hardest bosses to be consistent with, so we'll see how it treats both these players. So.
Yeah, the mech moves so sporadically that once you jump in midair, basically anything goes. So you gotta make sure you're ready, and that your timing is as good as it can be, because the mech could just sweep itself out from under you in an instant. And also, this strat is very important because this ground pound is very easy to miss because you have such a small area to jump on. But he got it pretty flawlessly.
Yeah, very clean slurp. So, oh, good reaction there. You hit the bunny's, hit the bunny's
But he
ears.
still landed on top.
Yeah.
Got a little lucky there, but yeah, thankfully each phase he kind of takes a couple steps into you, so even if you don't have quite enough height, if you delay your dive a little bit, you let him get a little closer. Especially Crazy Legs, he starts running towards you, so it's pretty easy to, you know, even if you don't have quite enough height, to still be able to make it up. But it's, you gotta really be ready. Wait for him to take 5 steps. That's surprisingly tight, because like, yeah, you have a very small window where he stands still, and when he decides, all right, I'm done, and then pushes you away, and you have to get him in between that time frame. But he got a really good mecha fight.
An extremely clean Mega Brutal fight. Hats off to that guy. That is not easy to do under pressure. So
that is almost about as good as you could do it. I opted for probably a couple safe hits, but like still did them very well.
I would take that any day.
Yeah, absolutely. That would beat my gold by like at least a minute.
So excellent showing from Cinder there. You see that both players opted to capture the bird to make that tiny climb that they needed. So
yeah, I'm not sure exactly what the time difference is between the two routes. I'm almost positive the other route is a little bit faster, but I don't know the time difference. Because again, I haven't seen anybody do it, so it must not be that significant. Getting
trolled by the glory hole, and
the
Pokio
had something else to say.
Giving him some lip. Nobody likes to see that.
Yeah,
can't be. You're just along with the. Just gonna go over here and grab this moon. Then we're gonna see Cinder finishing up Bowser's there.
Is that also Pooh's Pokio emote?
No, that is somebody else with an awesome.
Very cute.
Just the name of that. The name of that.
Oh, okay. That's awesome.
It's God tier.
That is awesome. What streamer is that? We're kind of plugging other streamers. What we do.
No. Never once has it ever happened. Speed Gaming Master Race. So we're gonna see how Sarah handles these boss fights. Also opting into Topper first here. And we get to see Cinder go to Moon. So
not much else to talk about until the fight, other than
just missing that hat jump. It looked like it was a little bit too delayed on his, but he finds that hat quick, so not too much of a time loss there. We'll see if he can get this next phase. And just missing it.
X-Water has the prefix moist.
That's excellent.
And yeah, that's awesome. And now we're seeing why getting that snipe on the third phase is so important.
So we saw there that he jumped just a little bit too late. So the hat spread out and go back into the center again. So you have a very tiny window where that hat is actually hittable. So
until they spread out and just become an RNG mess.
Looks like he was expecting a cutscene there. I don't blame him.
Yeah. At least I think it's RNG. The way they deflect.
No, they remove. They, depending on where he lands, that hat will be
which
in
hat
a specific spot. Yeah.
So I guess. Okay, so it's not really RNG. But it is random in a way.
Yeah. It's based on the timing that you jump on him each time. So,
gotcha.
Like, if you can make that consistent, then that hat will be in the same
spot.
But good luck on that. So.
Yeah. Good luck getting in the exact same time every time. Yeah. Exact same position. Especially because he like hops around for a bit, and I don't know if there's a way to manipulate that.
Yeah, no, it's not. Your best bet is just a well-timed jump. So.
Yeah. It's just watch which hat he goes under, and then don't lose it.
So we're gonna see another refight with Bowser here. Pretty much the same, just more hats and more fire. So fitting for a Odyssey final boss here.
Yeah. Just don't want to go behind him in his, he does his fire, he twists about 180 degrees. You want to stay somewhere within that 180 degrees. And obviously, once you do this fight enough, you know which directions he's going to go in each phase. If you go behind him, he'll like hop, turn around, and restart his fire spitting sequence. And people lose like 30 seconds on this fight and don't know why, and that's usually why. And I think he spins towards you, so that might be it, actually. So, like, if you start off to his left, he'll spin to the left, and then as long as you don't go to the right, you'll be fine, I think.
Yeah, you just gotta... Don't run around all crazy, like.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see... Just hit his hat. Ooh, jump into him. I was a little worried. If you get... While Cappy has that hat, if you get too close to it, it'll, you'll put it on.
Bowser, you'll basically not be able to get a chance to get up to Bowser before he jumps away, which loses, you know, a little over 5 seconds. Especially because this platform, I think the stage, actually no, it's like the same size as Cloud, but he also shoots the unbreakable, he throws like the unbreakable balls at you, so you have to actually avoid them instead of just being able to punch right through them.
So we're going to see how Sarah can handle this mecha. It was a really clean one last race we saw, so just missing the hat dive there. That angle was a little funky. I doubt he was expecting that, so not too big of a time loss, but a time loss nonetheless. He's just going to go ahead and get some bombs. Oh, and that bird just being in the worst spot possible. Blowing up the bomb that he wanted.
He wanted to help, but...
He just wanted to talk, but he got bombed in the back, so... We're gonna see if we get to see the infamous 2D skip here. Looks like no. Maybe accidental?
No.
So, oh, and just missing the hat dive again. Sarah's...
the camera changed on him. The camera changed on him. It changed his angle. That's the thing. Normally in this game, it's like, even if you get a weird angle, but you need a half bounce anyway, just maintain, maybe adjust a tiny bit, but always try to maintain the direction that you threw your hat. Because you'll basically, as long as the camera doesn't change too much, or you dive before it does, then you'll be fine. But if you try to change directions to the way you want it to go, you're guaranteed to miss it.
Yep.
Also, we see another little thing. Bowser, I'm pretty sure, does actually claw a lot faster when standing still, which is, I think, what we saw Simba just do. Instead of, like, running at the wall and swiping, you just stand still and just
probably not getting in as many fireballs on that pillar as he wanted.
Yeah. Because ideally, it would be ideal to have that pillar broken by the time you start running around. But that's like really hard to do. So like, you know, you can break it with just a couple extra fireballs normally after running from this pillar. You don't want to have to run all the way over there though and break it.
Oh, and it looked like he wanted to time to be on top of the Mecha Brutal there when it got up, but just missed timing a little bit.
Yeah. So there's a few platforms obviously here that are always safe, and you can pretty easily tell what they are. If they're not made out of moon rock, then they won't ever fall. So you can just kind of stand there and shoot it.
You tell me that moon's evil?
You're still gonna get a 112. Still pretty solid.
Nice. Keeping it below 113.
GF and G. Oh my god, the Jacksonville Jaguars are in the playoffs.
Hey, we don't talk about that sports ball here.
Sorry, I'm not a Jaguars fan, but man, oh man, am I surprised. Happily surprised. Like, I always root for bad teams to do well, but that is pretty dope. Yeah, thankfully he only... Oh no, he does have 2 Brutals left.
Alright. Oh no!
Yeah, that's the... Oh, it backed into him. Oh.
That is...
I thought I saw him go to pick up a couple extra hearts.
That's very unfortunate.
Yeah.
Mecha Brutal being one of the hardest things in this game to be consistent with, I would say. So, and we're getting to see why. It's there's just all of these tiny things that can go wrong with it. How it turns at you in the phases that you need to jump back to it. How much height you had right after the ground pound. A lot of stuff. So
Yeah.
So many factors go into the movement and jumps in this game that sometimes when you get to a boss like this, it just can get uncontrollable. Oh, just missing that green bunny. He was just a little late on that ground pound, so the bird, or the brutal turn, so just not giving him what he wants. So I'll see if he can recover here. Just hitting it with that bomb there, making it restart that animation. I didn't know that would happen.
You could also climb up the sides with the bird, but it's just opting to do the easy way, understandably.
Take it safe.
Want to get out of here.
Make sure he finishes this right. It doesn't look like he's gonna have the height he needs there, so.
Yeah, because on that particular phase, you saw he knelt down, so you actually don't want to get the ones on the side, because when he blows you backwards, he blows you with the height that the first time is the brutal that you killed. It's going to be that brutal's height, but because it's lower down, it becomes impossible to get enough height to get back up there again. So you want to kill, if that happens to you, and you do use the bombs, which you probably shouldn't do, but if you do, get Harriet, always.
He's gonna get the last one he needs there. Finishing it out. Finishing it out. We'll actually get to talk a little bit about Moonskip. We kind of glanced over it with Cinda's attempt there. So he's gonna grab this last multi-moon here, head back onto the Odyssey, and then actually one of the things that makes Bastard Kings even more frustrating is the animation of recharging the Odyssey is a lot longer, so you just have to sit there and watch your timer. So that's the animation I'm talking about right now. It's gonna do one more spin around just like we saw in Cascade Kingdom. Kind of just salt on the wound, that cutscene letting you know you're not quite done yet. So.
Yeah, and Sendo's checking out his splits. I think it ruined gold though. Probably not by too much considering how short of a split that is, but it's a gold.
Roger that.
Yeah. Best idle animation ever. Even though he's not following the beat at all. Because it plays like the. It plays Yeah, it does. It plays the Odyssey theme, the run, jump,
Jump
whatever.
up.
Yeah, I forgot what it's called. It plays that, but like the Mario's totally not dancing in rhythm to it. But you know, it's still awesome. Because he dances in rhythm, I think, to the band in City Hall.
Yeah, and around, I think all the musicians in.
Oh yeah.
Oh. See, this is where Moonstep can be a little bit frustrating. Yeah. It's just precise the spot that you have to get the first wall kick off of. So that means jumping up there is precise as well. So it looks like he got a good spot. Yep, and he's gonna get it. You got a wall kick off the wall the first time in a very specific spot. So he's going to be coming up here on his the Bowser refight. We'll see how he handles it. I don't think he'll be doing any of the damage strikes on this one. One thing we can talk about real quick is how this group is going. So I'm gonna look that up real quick.
What?
I haven't looked at the standings for this group, so I don't know how important this.
Okay.
So it looks like, well, Sarah got a win earlier, so that'll put Cyndaquil at 2 wins and Sarah 1-1. So this is definitely not the end of it for Sarah by any means. It's just 1 win, 1 loss. So. Getting that hat really early. Very nice from Sarah there. So, you think we're going to see 2D skip here, Mouse Cop?
I don't know if
pinch
Sarah,
out a little bit of time.
has ever practiced it before, but man, do I hope so.
Getting that triple jump. Excellent. And then we had it before we even saw it. All those tiny movement optimizations we do in Bowser's, because it's really not a whole lot. So.
Yeah, every little thing counts.
Oh no, and he...
What, did he go for it? Did he go for it? Yeah. That's why it's not the hardest jump in the world, but it's probably the riskiest.
Yeah, it's very, very risky.
One of the most damaging. If you're on like really close PP pace or something. Otherwise, yeah, whatever. It's no. So okay. Oh, interesting backup.
Saying no to it this time.
Yep.
Get it done. Get out of here. Let's escape. Save the princess. And then she just goes on vacation and tries to leave you on the moon. All of our hard work, no payoff.
Yeah, really.
So it looks like he gets some good. Okay, he's gonna
He's
opt
going
to go
clockwise.
right. Yeah.
Which is fine. Just make sure you avoid the hole.
Yeah. We all know. We all know how many lives it's taken.
Yeah. Like the first like good week or so of runs, we saw quite a few get lost to it. Not because people forgot, it was because people just didn't know. And there you go. I'm unfortunately gonna have to duck out, but it was great
No
commentating
worries.
with you again.
Yeah, excellent. That was good. Thank you so much for hanging out.
Yep. Thank you all for watching.
Yeah.
Make sure you keep up with the attorney and with Beat Gaming. Peace out.
Let's see if we get these guys in here for an interview. I don't know if they have time or if we have time. Well, let's make sure you guys follow these streamers. Follow the Mouse Comp. He's an awesome guy. Knows so much about this game. And big shout outs to Speed Gaming and all the mods who put this all together. Like, I'm sure setting these streams up, sitting there all day waiting for people to respond to you is not always the funnest. So shout outs to them. Looks like Cinda. Hello. Hey, what's going on, Cinda?
Hey.
So, not the best you've done. Doesn't look like it was a PB, right? So,
I was like a minute and a half behind.
Gotcha. So, what about I'm always interested to see what gold splits a runner got. If you had
I
any.
got one in Ruined.
One in Ruined? Yeah, okay, gotcha. So maybe just better timing on that one.
Yeah, I died like in every single kingdom I wanted to save time on. That was fun.
Yeah, very unfortunate deaths from both runners today. So I hate to see that, but definitely happens. There's no reset runs. You know, you just gotta keep going.
Starting in Luncheon, the run was pretty good.
Gotcha. Luncheon was. So your in game was pretty close. You didn't lose a whole lot of time compared to your PB.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So just brutal early start. It's always sad to hear. But congratulations. And then Sarah, we just saw you get 4 minutes faster than this earlier today. So
yeah,
this isn't a PB compared to your leaderboard for you. But any golds in there for you on this one?
No, all my splits were red.
Only
red.
That's no good. Definitely some brutal misfortune for you on that one. That we were all pulling for you on that Mecha Brutal. That was so unfortunate. I don't think it couldn't have gotten too much worse. Like that was some rough stuff to deal with. Like some stuff I don't even know how you would have reacted to it.
No, I saw like basically when I was doing the Brutal, like Sinnoh was already done, so I was just kind of memeing around. Like when I missed his run, I was just like rolling around the edge and stuff.
Gotcha. They're just trying to get out of there and get done with it.
Yeah, which is also why I went for 2D skip.
Gotcha. And so Cinda, this is your second win, right?
Yep.
So you should be moving on. But Sarah, you're 1-1, so
Yeah.
you're definitely still in it. So definitely
Yeah,
not over.
still need to do a race against Spike.
Right on, right on. Should be a good one.
Yep.
Definitely improving fast, huh? It was you. I mean, your leaderboard said it was you had a 130, and you beat that by 10 minutes and just in the run before. So definitely wildly improving. So.
Yep.
So excellent, awesome race from both these guys here. Make sure you guys give them a follow. But that should be it. Thank you guys so much.
Yep.
Thank you.
I'll see ya. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.